Cowboys pass rush must improve, but week to week we are seeing that these guys are improving, and these things are very tangible to the eyesight. And when we start to utilize our hands more, getting separation, and then you see the capabilities of playing half man and getting pressure upfield, that's what is necessary. The Cowboys heading into week 6, if they can stack on good things as what they did these previous weeks on pass rushing and improving week to week, then things can turn its corner. Keep in mind, you never want to peak in September. One can argue even October. So the Cowboys got plenty of football left. I think that these guys on the edge need to continue to stack good tape up on top of good tape. And then before you know it, then we can look back at this and say, man, these boys are improving to this point, right? So I get it. It was against the Jets, and the Jets are 0-5, right? They were 0-4 when we set them or saw them. So at the end of the day, I'm looking for these guys to look at what worked, and let's see if we can continue to stack those things together and not rely only on one person to get home. But if all 4 of these guys can get home and win their individual reps, keep in mind there's about 60 snaps in a game, 60 of them, and they got to be divided. 4 of these guys on this edge rush, these guys can make things happen, but they just got to figure it out one way or another, and that's just the bottom line with it. And so sometimes it takes time for these guys to get things going, and if they can manage to get some similarities going as it relates to what they need to do or what they want to do out there on the field, it can be possible. That's all I wanted to say about this. Now, here's the other part that I really want to bring home to. I think that Fowler is getting a whole lot better off of his releases. I think that he played himself into shape, and he didn't play in anybody's preseason game, and he was really limited all through training camp, right? So I'm glad to see Fowler finally cut open and loose. I think Solomon Thomas, a great pickup for us, because it now alleviates the pressure. And I ain't talking about getting pressure, but the pressure for Osa to do everything. That's why we're seeing Osa having a phenomenal year. Depth is necessary. Sam Williams, I think that he's going to get better as the weeks processes and goes through. Why long? Well, when you think of Sam Williams, think of, I'm coming off of recovery, I'm trying to get better, and I'm trying to figure out what I can and can't do. And week to week, that leg getting better. Here's the craziest part about Sam's injury or what have you, or recovery. It normally takes 2 years for you to start seeing the fruits of your labor, of all of that hard work, right? So I'm glad I'm saying that. Donovan Ezaraku, the rookie, I think that he got an array of pass rush moves that we're seeing a tick up on what he is able to do. And the more playing time that he get, the more and more options that he get of learning the placement of hands in certain spots, playing half body or using a bull rush, lining straight up over him, he's going to improve. And Jadeveon Clowney, my thoughts of him, of course, we all know Jadeveon Clowney is a situation and scenario that he himself didn't practice at nobody's training camp nor preseason. So he got to play himself into shape. Last but not least, James Houston. He got the capabilities. I'm talking about the edge, and we'll touch on Kenny Clark. But James Houston, you seeing shoulder dip, you seeing hand placement, you seeing some bendabilities. So you seeing those things with James, right? And he's by far been your best sack technician, right? So I'm thinking that even in the following weeks, he may get high as 8 to 9 to maybe 10 sacks himself at the bargaining price that they got him for. Not to overpraise him, because, you know, Jerry Jones take that all the way to the bank. And Kenny Clark, to this point, I like the skill set that he can bull rush. He got pass rushing technique moves from the inside. He can line up in A or B gap. So those things can play a lot of good dividends for us down the stretch. And he can stop the run. And he's a vocal leader is what's really important. He can talk to these guys from a man-to-man aspect and say, this is what we need to do. Hey, this is what we're going to do against X, Y, and Z team. We prepare ourselves enough for that. I like the way that they are treading. They just need to stack good games on top of each other. And I hate to say this word, but it's literally trust the process. And we're going to see whether or not these guys can do just that. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.